What's up, Yesh Gamers? Robert the Bruce here. Today's video, we're looking at location superiority. Now, this is a huge strategic advantage you can gain on the battlefield, but I don't see a lot of players taking advantage of it. Basically, it centers around being in areas that the enemy doesn't expect you to be. Now, you know I love my MP7, so that's my typical close quarters weapon I'm running with on the Recon class. The radio beacon is the main reason you want to run Recon when you're applying this strategy. Obviously, someone that's really good with a close quarter sniper rifle could do that as well. Now, the reason I'm putting my spawn beacon here, it provides me an easy route into Charlie as well as an easier route back into Alpha if the enemy ends up taking it. And that's what this whole idea centers around. Putting your spawn beacons down in areas that allow you great access to multiple locations that are going to be high value targets, areas you know you're going to be needing to go back to again. In this one here, I spawned into Delta, but we're losing it. So I immediately put in my spawn beacon down because if I end up dying and I can't take this back and the enemy takes it, I've now given my squad the ability to spawn back in where the enemy doesn't expect us. That's huge. The enemy will not expect it. It gives us a massive advantage that all too often can be a really deciding factor in a game. Here, I die, but I got my spawn beacon down, and even though we still have the Alpha objective, we're still losing it. And so I'm going to choose to spawn on my beacon because I know that that room it's in is safe. I can spawn there. I know my surroundings. I'm not just going to pop up randomly around Alpha, not really knowing what's going on. I immediately put the beacon down again in case I die a second time. Because I was able to spawn into that safe room and to know my bearings, know my surroundings, I can take out a couple of enemies, halt their progression taking this point. There you see my teammates spawn in on the other side because we hadn't lost the objective yet. And before you know it, we've cleared out the bad guys and we're taking back this objective for ourselves. Huge, huge. Would not have been possible if I had been spawning randomly somewhere else out in the open in a vulnerable area. This next one, I'm spawning in on a tank approaching the Alpha objective. We also don't have Charlie. We're in a bad spot. As soon as I spawn in, I see we're heading off with another tank. I'm getting out of there. I'm putting my beacon down here. It's an easy route into Alpha or back up to Charlie, depending on what I decide my team needs the most. Again, using your beacons, these spawn areas, as ways for your entire squad to access multiple key points on the battlefield. Too often it's either a sniper putting his beacon down just selfishly for himself off in the middle of nowhere, or people are just kind of throwing them in corners out in the open, not really putting a lot of thought into it. But if you really stop and think about the strategic ramifications behind where you're putting down your spawn beacon, it can give you this massive advantage that I call location superiority. You're able to flank the enemy, get into objectives that they thought they had locked down, and really turn the tides of the battle for your team. You see here in this game, we barely won by only a few tickets, and I strongly believe a lot of that was due to the fact that we were able to surprise the enemy in a lot of different situations. Use this to your advantage next time you're running the Recon class. It may just be the deciding factor between winning or losing a tough game. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.